Greetings and various assorted salutations. Welcome to the spring 2021 semester. I'm Mr. Hicks, and this is a tour of the course that I'm teaching, U.S. History 2, which will be run on Canvas, the learning management system. Essentially, the idea behind this configuration of the course is it's designed so that regardless of what building level we're at, or whether you are working from home, forced to work from home, working in school, or in some alternating schedule of that, or the e-learning Fridays, you have this platform for accessing assignments, turning in assignments, accessing course content, and communicating with me, the teacher. So let's get right into the tour. The first thing, of course, is you need to get to Canvas, and I'll show you how to get to the Rapid City School District's version of Canvas. So first off, what you're going to want to do is make sure that you are using a good browser for this. It is recommended that you use Firefox or Google Chrome for your web browser. These two have proven to be most stable. From there, you're going to want to go to rcas.instructure.com, and your login information will be here. We'll go over how to log in class, but it's basically the same information and the same sign-in equipment that you use to sign on to your school-issued computer. And then from there, you'll get to a selection screen. It varies depending on your configuration, but we'll be going to U.S. History 2, taught by me. So when you finally get into U.S. History 2, this is what the student view will look like, more or less. There are still some things being finalized in the design of this course, so contents and materials may change at any point. For example, the to-do list is inaccurate at this time. So this is the course homepage. It has a welcome information. It has what to do, where to go, how we're going to do things. If you're curious for more information about your teacher or the various assistants that the teacher employs, you can check them out here. There's some how-to videos and tutorial resources from Canvas, and then I have some of my own resources here, which I will cover in just a minute. Typically, to get to different units, you'll be going to the unit from here to a splash screen. We're going to cover that later on. I want to focus on just the resources you'll be using in every unit in today's tour. But each unit will have a video tour as well. Let's go into that. So a lot of the resources you're going to be accessing are found in modules. For the first week, we're going to be using the welcome module to kind of learn the basics of how to do some different things in the course, how to turn in assignments, how to access course materials, in addition to talking about the syllabus for this course and the announcements. But we'll be working on this. It'll run you through the basics of how do you do and complete and turn in an assignment, how do you access course materials, and what do quizzes and tests look like on the computer. Additionally, we'll be going over the student resources and tools, reference materials. And what this section is it contains all of the various tools that you will be using in this course. The electronic textbook, there are several ways to access that. We'll talk about that in class. In case something happens or you would like to, there's some issues, there's the alternative video access. Though all of my lecture videos are posted on YouTube. So that should work. We also have the online and offline glossaries. What this is there's two ways to access the glossary. Actually, there's about three if we want to get technical. And one of them is offline. I'm not entirely sure of the online access that students have on the e-learning Fridays or in remote learning. But in some of the cases where you're going to be out of internet access but still want to work on coursework, it's recommended you download the offline version of the glossary. Probably the most important document for this course is the operations manual. We will go over this in class, and it is your #1 reference material for literally everything in this class, from turning into assignments to figuring out what's going on, and what to do if you're quarantined for this class, things like that. There's also a writer's manual for support on how to do writing stuff. If you are a parent and you wish to observe your students' progress through the course, there's some information on how to access that. And if you're interested in setting up that observer status, the details for that will be provided in class to your student. And they will also be provided, what is it? They'll be provided on planbook.com, and they will be provided at parent-teacher conferences if you want to keep a closer eye on your students' progress through the course. That's something else for a different category of people who work in the building. There's also some different tips, tricks, and review resources right here. For example, we have Kahoot reviews for every major unit in this course, sometimes more than one. Right here is the COVID-19 level protocols. I will be covering these in more detail in class and perhaps in a separate video. We will be starting at level 1. I'll show you what that looks like. Level 1 is under the assumption that we're coming to school. All students are in school except those who are quarantined and whatnot. As a general rule of thumb, though, the procedures that we use to get through the different units don't really change. This course is built under a stability principle that it doesn't matter what level we're at. We're covering content at more or less the same rate. But essentially, the level 1 protocols detailed here. We will cover this in more detail. You may notice that there's something called the attendance checker program. I will talk about that shortly. But that's a handy resource to have. There's also some information on the quarantine protocol, kind of what to do for those matters. For the computer technology issues, we do occasionally have technical errors, and these technical errors need to be reported, and I've created some systems to kind of help with either fixing them or reporting them. We'll start with the common technical errors and how to fix them. This was assembled by one of the artificial intelligences operating in the course, and essentially it has some of the very common problems that students have encountered and how to fix them. Very simple fixes, but in the heat of the moment, this will be your best friend if something's going wrong. Particularly YouTube videos can be problematic. The broken assignment reporter is a form that you can fill out to report if an assignment is broken. The reason why I have you using this form is it's just a convenient way to sort out what the problem is from a technical standpoint, because that's usually what the problem is. The attendance checker program. This is a program that is used to log attendance. It is something that is filed every day, Monday through Friday, even on e-learning Fridays. It's a way of you being able, the student being able to report what's going on in the class and how you're doing, and if you have any questions, it's one of the places where you can ask. Some information about me, the teacher. And then this will be locked, but there is some extra credit opportunities. The units, westward expansion being our first unit, will appear below the welcome module. However, it is locked at this time because we want to focus on learning how to use this course and its basic operations. A few other details I want to cover. The syllabus is located here. This has information on how the gradebook works, how grades work, expectations for the course. Grades is where you can check the progress of your progression through the course. Final grades are posted into Skyward, that program. However, assignment feedback and what your score is on individual assignments is posted in grades. And often you'll see a number here or something, and that indicates that there's feedback for your assignments. I try and provide feedback as much as possible, even though I have quite a few students this semester. I will try and provide feedback where it's needed. Feedback will cover all kinds of things, what went right, what went wrong, how to improve. So it's in your best interest as a student to look at the feedback for your assignments. Going into announcements. The announcements page is where I will post all kinds of information. The idea behind the announcements page is if you're quarantined or we go to level 2 or level 3, you have access to the announcements. I keep the announcements up to date at all times, so If, say, for example, you forget, oh, what are we doing this week? You will be able to view what we're doing this week, a rough checklist of what we're doing. Additional information that's posted on announcements is e-learning expectations and Zoom link information. Other details that are posted in this program include um, updates on if there's any issues with the gradebook. When the gradebook is updated, that is announced in here. And just in general announcements. If we go to level 3 where everyone's working remote, announcements will update daily. But as a general rule of thumb, you'll want to check those. I did note this is a new feature for my courses, but the home page will post the most recent announcement at the top. If you see this red dot, it means you haven't read it yet. I recommend reading all the announcements as they come through. Even if you hear them in class, you may just want to click on them so that you know, okay, I checked that. Another feature in this course is the to-do list. This is currently under construction. You can see that there's some issues. Some of these assignments should not exist yet. For the first week or so, don't worry about the to-do list. It is still under repair. There's some other resources. You can view the course calendar here. You can check course notifications and the course stream, how you're doing with things in here. An additional feature that you need to be aware of is the inbox section. The inbox is where you will frequently receive communications from me, the teacher, on this course. Essentially, you'll see a little number up here. It looks kind of like this dot, only it'll be right here, and it'll tell you that there's a message for you. Some of the messages you might receive is an indicator if you are missing an assignment or something like that. You can use this to communicate with the teacher, but we'll cover that in a separate tutorial. My hope is that this little tour will give you an idea of what this course looks like and how to access some of the more basic features that will be used continuously throughout this course in spring 2021. In any case, I do hope this helps, and well, until later.